Who knew?
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
He told me not to say anything. He says, I'll have it from now on. And that's exactly what he did. When he came out, he said, he told the press that was there, he said, that was nothing but a weather balloon, crashed weather balloon. It was definitely not a weather balloon.
What can you tell me about the Roswell craft? Fortunately, those details were not approved for me to talk about right now.
79 years ago, something fell out of the sky near Roswell, New Mexico. And what that something was is still up for debate. With the 80th anniversary of this event approaching, is the real truth about to be revealed about what happened at Roswell? Welcome. This is Wild and Weird Radio Live. I am Ron. That is Joseph over there in the spooky Appalachia shirt.
That's right.
Shout out to Jimmy. Jimbo.
Thanks,
He's out there
Jimbo. We
somewhere.
appreciate you, man. You always help out anytime you are online. So special thanks goes out to Spooky Appalachia. If you haven't already subscribed to his channel, go do so. He puts out weekly content just like we do. And
Jim's awesome. Jim has supported us from literally day one, and so he always, we're always shouting out to Jimmy, and he's just a great guy. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there, and we're gonna count out and shout out to the ones who always support us because that's how it works.
It's absolutely right. We got crowd falling in here.
Well, we do, don't we? They're coming in, so let's get them all
liked and shared. Good to see you out there. I see your question there about the TNT area. We'll touch that here in a little bit. We'll bring that up during the news.
Let's go ahead and get them all welcomed in. Joseph, I have started the goal, new little tune, and we got a meeting we got a plan for. So let's get them going.
Absolutely. Brenda, what's going on? Andrew, what's up? Enzo again. We've got 9 lives out here. We've got I already said Andrew. Teresa from Teresa's Haunted History of the Tri-State is here. We've got Bonnie Blue. What's going on, Bonnie? Good to see you. Chris, Wichita, what's going on? We got Dave Eggleston. Good to see you, man. Hopefully you're going to be getting ready to get into some wrestling mode with the kiddo here in a little bit. Rachie, what's up? Jordan Booker, what's going on? Arthur, how's it going? We've got Seth Womack. I came here for intergalactic tacos and mock Jesus jokes, just a FYI.
It's going to happen. You can count on it. That's going to be a thing, I'm sure.
Oz says, who's been looking up? Narrator. Oz has actually been looking up and been insufferable. I know Beth has been looking up too. Holy smoke. Did you see some of the videos that one last night?
Yep. We're going to be
you want to talk about some good camera work too.
Yeah. We're going to be actually addressing some of that here very shortly, probably maybe next week in a special, like an in focus kind of thing. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of that stuff. Because we've got some stuff happening out there.
We do. Ada, Linda, LR Miller, what's going on, brother? Who else? Skinner's in the house. Good to see you, Skinner. Terry Carter has returned. What's going on, Terry? Good to see you out there. Oh, we got Black Lung Ironworks is in the house. Carly Young, what's going on? Who else? Where are we?
There's a lot of them.
For new names. You guys blow up the chat quick anymore, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Rob
right?
Posey, what's up? Eyes in the woods.
Eyes.
Say it was a balloon. I dare you. Say it was a balloon.
Just wait. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We're going to be going over the whole Roswell thing there, just because, it's 79th anniversary, guys. Yesterday was the day of the headline. Today was the day of the other headline.
Better take in my tribute before Roswell starts flying fast and furious in here. I heard it was dummies. A whole lot of dummies.
There's still a whole lot of dummies.
Kids dummies.
There's a whole lot of dummies, and there still are.
I know. Most of them are elected officials.
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh, goodness. Kill me.
You did.
So, how did you win?
Yeah. All right.
That was good. Good.
Yeah, a little canned laughter for you.
Oh, man.
I was hoping that was laughter because I know we used it years and years ago, but I was really hoping it was still laughter and not something else. So
right.
I'm glad it was.
Oh man, it's been a week, man. Like work has been crazy. It's the turn of the fiscal year for us.
Yeah.
And there's multiple databases that are like being taken away or shut down, done away with for whatever reason. So I'm in a scurry to salvage files, and it's been nonstop work for the last 4 days.
Well, I hear the Borg are coming. That's why.
Pretty much. Like they're wanting hard copies of these digital files now. So it's bonkers. Okay,
that's weird.
Yeah, do with that what you will.
Yeah, that's weird. Hard copies. Gonna put them in the preserves, I guess, in the archives. Because everybody want to know that in the future. Anyway. So
goodness. So how's your week been?
I've had a good one. I've had a pretty basic week. I've been playing around with some new ideas for some stuff to take out to Kecksburg and elsewhere on the road. So hopefully we'll get to see some of that stuff in the near future. Not a whole lot else going on. I had the whole 4th of July thing, went out and did that with the family, and that was fun. Drug the keyboard out and had to actually go out and play a set. Nice. That was fun. It was interesting. Maria asked me during the whole thing, do you miss playing? And I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, I love playing. Don't get me wrong. I love playing. The playing part's great. It's the setting up and tearing down. So, I mean, I'm sure that if I had a roadie, sure, I'd love playing, but I don't have one of those.
Yeah. When you are your own built-in roadie, it's
rough.
It's a little rough, man. And speaking of rough, this weekend was rough because it was obviously 4th of July weekend, but historically that's been a good weekend for us to capture data. Unfortunately, this year it was shrouded with thunderstorms in my location anyway. So
it was the same here. It's crazy.
Yeah, the skies were
one night
full of clouds. Oh, I didn't have any.
We had one night.
Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, it was all clouds. So
it was pretty cloudy.
Get the mantis out to go catch anything, but there's still time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's there's some stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to get on here and show some of that stuff here.
What's that roadie gig pay? At least food every now and then.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And a high five. A good solid go team.
Yeah. That's about what we usually got as the band.
Yeah, right.
So, pay ain't so good. Anyway, don't quit your day job. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. And I've even done roadie work for like names that you would recognize, like everybody in the chat would probably recognize.
Oh yeah.
And my pay at the end of the night was like dinner and autographs.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep. I'm not kidding, dude.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a good time, like I said, and we got to go out and kind of enjoy things for a little bit and not do anything, believe it or not do anything research related. for a weekend, and that's rare.
And I was bummed because I actually wanted to, but didn't work out. Now, Dave says, I saw a manatee grazing down on the canal next to our Florida rental on the 4th, and that was good enough for me. Heck yeah, man.
That's cool.
So, fun fact, my beard is the exact same color as the manatee's favorite algae in the Florida Springs.
So don't go swimming in the Florida Springs.
My wife and I were down there. It was a couple years, it was about a year before we had our first kid. And we went swimming with manatees, and one came up and started munching on the side of my face. It was crazy.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So much sense right there. Anyway, so let's hit the news real quick. There's just a little bit. We're not even going to hit the banner. We're just going to talk about it because
for the roadie gig, he gets all the brown M&Ms that the band won't eat.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We can do that. So we're gonna talk about this for just a little bit, and then we're gonna pretty much kick into the whole the whole topic of the night. But honestly, there is no topic. Let's be real. I mean, I spend hours writing this stuff, and it's a rough guideline for us to go down and try to stay on track. But you guys always steer the boat, so wherever we want to go is where we're going to go. So if you want to talk about, whatever, we'll end up probably talking about that.
You mean Roswell?
I'm talking about Roswell right now, but we might end up, in Zeta Reticuli. I don't know. I don't know where we're going to end up. Could happen.
Got to figure out where Roswell came from.
Got to figure it out, but we can't talk about it. Yeah.
Oh man.
So, before we do that, I wanted to say last week's show was epic. The numbers on that they're insane. I mean, absolutely insane. Thanks to everybody who shared that out and got that out there. Glenn's team did pretty good, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mike and Glenn and
Jeff,
they did a great job.
I'm just telling you, if that was my first cast, I would just be like, oh my gosh, I'd be so happy.
Absolutely. That's a great one. I think they did a great job.
Really was. And if you haven't gone back, go back and check. If you haven't watched it, go back and check last week's episode. It's pretty interesting. I'm just going to tell you, I don't know. Does it prove there's a Bigfoot? Don't know, but it proves there's something out there. Whether those guys are, getting hoaxed or if there's actually something there. And I honestly don't think they're being hoaxed. I'll be straight up with you. I think there's something there. We've been there. We know the area. There's something in the area. So Joe, we got our old buddy Lou out there making some weird claims. He was in Japan, and
yep.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a manga made of this at some point.
Probably.
I really do want to see that. I like to see Lou as maybe a chibi. That would be cool, right? Lou is a chibi.
Well, I mean, Lou was a chibi before, and then he's lost all this weight now, getting back in shape. So
it's true. But take his presentation because
you got it.
For those folks who didn't know, some of the things that Lou has said are very interesting. So we're gonna
to say the least.
So let me find those for us, and I'm gonna pop those in here for you. Here we go. I'm going to go with number one first, which is what we heard first. And no, you know what? I'm going to save that one. Let's go with the new one with the blue orbs. Let's talk about that one. Here we'll play this.
With blue orbs, I have not had any. Those were other colleagues of ours, and we had a research facility at the time at a ranch in Utah where these orbs were observed.
I wonder what ranch that could be, Joe. Do you have any clue?
In Utah.
A ranch in Utah.
And specifically, we had a ranch
with
Utah.
Orbs. It's like the paranormal Jeopardy here.
Right?
Ranch what ranch in Utah? No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
it could be two.
There could be two.
It's one of two.
It's one of the two. So there's a ranch in Utah. We know that so far. There are blue orbs, and Lou tells the rest of this rather terrifying story.
On many occasions, And on one particular occasion, blue-colored orbs had lured two dogs out into the field, and when the owner tried to recover the dogs, unfortunately, there wasn't very much left of the poor animals. They heard the dogs bark, almost in distress. And then when they went to go find the dogs, the two dogs were, boy, how do I say that? Excuse it to say the word, but they were liquefied.
Now, the guy's expressions are worth watching, in my opinion. You know,
But they are very much worth watching. Like, but
oh no, this is a 2-hour
yeah,
thing that he did.
buckle
Here.
up.
What is it?
I said it's worth watching, but buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up for real, and make yourself enough time to watch it. So, but these are just the highlights.
Is this the first time you discussed this incident with dogs in Utah?
It is the first time I have discussed this incident. It has been discussed before by other participants of the program I was involved with. I don't know if it's ever been discussed publicly. Experience with blue.
So there's that, and then same scene, same interview. We go into this.
Of photographs that I don't believe have been made public yet that show on the lunar surface what appear to be large monolithic structures with right angle cuts that appear to be on the lunar surface. And I believe those photographs, if they have not been released yet, may be released soon. But they are certainly very intriguing looking at these objects from space.
Now, what's interesting here isn't the fact that he's talking about this monument on the moon. What's interesting is the fact that he says that they may be released soon.
Yeah.
That's interesting. This is not new, by the way, just like most of the stuff that you're hearing. It's been part of the UFO lore for decades. But could there be actual photograph? You know, that could change things. If there are, we know at this point that there were rumors about, the astronauts seeing things during the Apollo missions. And now we know that we've heard those very recordings that were classified for decades. So is it possible that this is another one of those things? I don't know. We have to wait and see.
Arthur says, I think this man is retelling a story he heard from another guy.
Well, I think that's the problem with all of this. And you're not wrong, Arthur. And that's what we've been saying. It's almost like some of these guys, they didn't take UFO seriously, right? They laughed it off for years. And then all of a sudden someone says, you got to take this serious. It's part of your job now. So they're like, okay. So they opened a book and it's just like I told you earlier, Joe, it's like they opened up Time, Life, Mysteries of the Unknown, something that was there, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And discovered it for the first time. And it's like, this is real.
Do you think, and this is a hypothetical, do you think that Lou might have like John Lear syndrome?
I don't know, but it's worrying, isn't it?
It's pushing me to that extent. Like,
yeah,
now unlike John ran a whole lot of CIA flights.
He did.
I'm not taking away from what he did, not taking away from
yeah.
some of the black ops stuff he was involved in.
Yeah.
But this is the same guy that's given us bad photos.
Yep.
This is the same guy that has given us stories and memos that we knew were already fake.
Yeah.
And
but
then
he didn't. Mm-mm.
And now we're hearing more. This isn't the first time he's done it, where he comes up and he starts talking about stuff that's been in the lore for 40 plus years.
I mean, this is the problem with it. it's like, you got the people who are like, well, Lou's a disinformation artist, all this stuff. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that he is. I think he's literally what you're just saying. I think he's grabbing all this stuff, throwing it on the table, but he doesn't know what's what that's on that table. If this one thing's true, then all this other stuff might be true too. So, we need proof. That's what I'm saying. Without proof, it's what it is. It's a cool story,
Yeah.
I mean, here, I'll show you. Watch. Here's a cool story right here, right? Here's a cool story. Here's a cool story. And
the monuments of Mars.
The monuments of Mars. But, the thing about it is that you're literally talking about the same kind of thing that's possibly on the moon. Now that whole theory came out around the same time. So you guys do with that what you will, but it's not new. It's not new at all. So
Enzo says, I'll go back to my original take on Lou. He's never said anything you couldn't hear on any random week of programming from Art Bell 30 years ago.
Thank you, Enzo. And this is the problem I have with so many people, like not just Lou. There's a lot of people who are out there right now who are just spreading this stuff. Most of them are on social media. They're spreading this stuff like it's brand new.
Yeah.
They just heard it. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, this is breaking news. Well, no, it was breaking news in 1997. It's not anymore.
Right. Seth says, I would say Lou's best info would be the details he shared about the hierarchy of the government programs and explaining the pecking order more specifically. I agree. And that was something he was involved in. So like he could speak directly to that.
Right.
But he goes out willy-nilly, speaks about things that he had no involvement in and has no way to connect him to it.
Yeah.
Which to a degree gives him a little bit of liberty, I guess, to say some of these more outlandish things.
Right.
Like because he's not directly connected to them. So like he can talk about them and talk about some of the more obscure, strange things.
Which is why he can. And others can't, because they had direct firsthand knowledge, and that comes at a price. You can't say anything. You can't talk about it. Some are under NDAs, national security, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But some things, like you said, with Lou, if he just casually heard them, well, and they've been in, the public, so even in the background of deep research, we can talk about that. We can talk about that, which blows my mind because we can't talk about Roswell. I'm not kidding. When we really think about that for just 2 seconds, you just take into consideration what I just said. Now you understand why David Grush can't talk about Roswell.
Right.
See what I mean?
Because
he saw something firsthand.
Yeah. While it might not have been briefed directly, he read documents. He saw things.
He was read in.
Some sort of involvement.
Yep. There's something there. Anyway, what's LR saying out there?
Oh, LR said that he found out that you can stream WAJR on the West Virginia radio app and hear Coast to Coast AM uninterrupted.
Really?
And a game changer on the late night core runs.
Well, there you go. That gives you something to do besides listening to old reruns of us.
Right? Chris says, let's put together a chart of what is the most likely witness or story that can actually be proven that would break this whole thing wide open.
Oh,
see, that's the thing. When it comes to the whole UFO thing, like none of it can really break the whole thing wide open.
Oh, exactly.
We don't know what any of it is. If it's the same thing, like it might break a case wide open.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're talking about Roswell in particular, they made darn sure you couldn't do that.
Right. And let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why do you wait 80 years and then all of a sudden you're starting to have these conversations? Well, I don't know, Joe. Why do you wait? First of all,
there's not too many hearts that are still beating that were walking around in that day.
That's right. And isn't there something about there's a limit where you can classify stuff like 75 years or something? But then if it's national security, it can be pushed farther.
Like that was a moratorium that they placed on the Kennedy files, but it's like an arbitrary thing. You can have things classified indefinitely.
Really? Yeah. As long as they're to deal with national security, right?
Yeah, and still pertinent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything after so long can kind of go under review, but
Sure.
it sometimes stuff will just sit classified for 11 billion years.
Sure.
Or 100+ years, just because nobody opened the file cabinet.
But if nothing happened out there, if it was all just weather balloons and tin foil and rubber and sticks and why is sticks, rubber, and tin foil classified?
I don't know, because they certainly never classified the set of Star Wars.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
These were all these materials.
Same material, right?
Yeah, for the most part, like at a fundamental level.
Huh.
So you don't see these movie sets from even the old original War of the Worlds. You don't see any of those, pieces being classified.
That's interesting, right?
Well, it's mostly because you can't classify false, like fiction. Kind of like copywriting. You can't copyright something that you can't prove.
Okay.
Just like you can't classify something that can be like, I guess a false. I guess you can classify falsehoods and lies. It's deception and counterintelligence, technically, but why?
Why? There's the question. Why? Oh, I do like that new feature. I just saw that. Did you see that? Like when he asked a question, it showed up highlighted.
Yeah. It's got the little question mark and it shows the thing. Yeah.
It needs to be like made where it'll show up like in a different color. That'd be cool too. They need listen StreamYard.
Are you listening to StreamYard?
Listen.
Highlight it light blue or something.
Yeah. Make it highlight. Make it stand out where I can actually see that. Terry,
thank you so much.
Multiple blessings go out to you.
Chris said, did we need to wait for a certain level of sophistication for the world to reach before we could handle the truth?
I don't know. We're still trying to handle the truth.
If we're waiting on sophistication,
we're not going to get there.
We're never going to get there.
We're done.
Jordan, this is the gentleman I was hoping was going to chime in.
Jordan.
Documents can remain classified typically a maximum of 25 years. Executive Order 35 or 135/26. They are then reviewed for declassification, but upon that review, they can extend the. Is it a 25-year extension or is it 50 that they can extend it, or is it an unlimited?
See, that's what's so great about this group. We have people who know these things, and
because the one, like specifically one of the things that I can kind of speak to is like some of the classified material on aircraft. Now, we're not going to speak to classified material on aircraft, but just that some of the documents that we have that are classified technologies have been classified.
They can extend it unlimited. That's what we were thinking.
Okay, they can extend it unlimited. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was 25 years. That's shorter than what I thought. I thought it was like 50 some years. Something.
I thought it was longer too, which brings up even more questions, Joe.
It does.
Right.
But it has to be reviewed. Right. I knew that the review was necessary to extend it. It couldn't just.
So what you're hearing right here is that at some point there was a review process that took place to make sure that this stuff was worthy of being sealed.
Yeah,
had to be.
It's probably multiple.
Thank you. That's what I'm getting at. So in that we said it, you said it. In 70 some years, there's not very many people still around, but the people who reviewed the data are still around somewhere.
Yep.
They would still be around. So do with that what you will. Maybe that's the kind of stuff we're going to be hearing from. I don't know.
Booker says it can be indefinite, but can be reviewed over and over again.
Yeah.
Or it can't be indefinite, but can be reviewed over and over again. Yeah. Okay. So they can't set an unlimited term on it. It just has to be reviewed every 25 years by the sound of it.
That works. I mean, whatever it takes.
Yeah. And
there it is. That's what I was thinking, but it's capped at 75 years. Yep. That's what I thought.
That's what everybody was waiting on with the Kennedy stuff, but it got another extension.
Well, that's what we're waiting on with the Roswell stuff.
Yeah.
And then look what happened, though. We think nothing happened, but what did happen? What did happen around that time? Dave Grush came forward and he started talking about, of all things, well, sort of, Roswell.
Yeah.
At least it came up. And that was the first time it came up for, ever there for a while, right?
Right. Because it'd been quiet in the media.
Yeah.
It had been quiet for some time.
Yeah, except for a couple specials here and there. And,
right. And sci-fi shows and things of that nature. But like no serious attention had been paid to it since probably 20 plus years before Stanton Friedman passed.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, you know what? We're going to get into that. So let's just start this whole thing off, and let's start off right at the beginning, because it really didn't start with Roswell, did it?
No.
That's the thing. I mean, most people think that it did start with Roswell, but it did not start with Roswell. It started with the Kenneth Arnold sighting.
It did.
And, we recently got some documents on that were released. So we know that they did take this serious, by the way. The government took it serious. But I actually found an old clip. It's one of the only clips from allegedly of Kenneth Arnold talking about this. And because he didn't do interviews, he didn't want the publicity. He didn't want that. I totally get it, by the way. Take it's presentation mode. You're going to love this. You folks who have listened to some of the hearings at this point, you've heard Ryan Graves speaking out, trying to get, safety for the airline pilots and all this, right? This is going to remind you a little bit of that. Where's it at? So here you go. Check this out.
June 24, 1977, 30 years to the day after he first sighted them, Ken Arnold consented to speak to us. He had refused to make any public statements for the last 5 years. It's easy to see that after 30 years, he's still angry at the disbelief.
Right here, we've seen something. I've seen something. Hundreds of pilots have seen something in the skies. We have dutifully reported these things. And we have to have 15 million witnesses before anybody's going to look into the problem seriously. Why, this is utterly fantastic. This is more fantastic than flying saucers or people from Venus or anything, as far as I'm concerned.
The greatest surprise was when Arnold reported his sighting to the nearest U.S. military airbase. He found on the wall of the commander's office this classified gun sight photograph, which bore a remarkable resemblance to what Arnold claimed he had just seen.
I don't know, but I will tell you this. I get the frustration. I get the frustration, and it's great to actually see that, just because it's the same thing today.
Yeah.
What's changed? I mean, really, what has changed? Do you really need, how many witnesses do we need?
Yeah, I mean, 50 million apparently.
I mean, apparently, no. We've got
past that.
Well, we've got Dr. Villarreal, who has 2 peer-reviewed papers at this point. I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's at least 1, but I think it's 2. Either way, they're peer-reviewed, and it's not enough evidence to suggest that humans are, I guess, the top of the food chain. Everybody wants to believe that we're just right there at the top. We're going to stay there.
Hey, Ron, do you have that Kenneth Arnold artwork that you made anywhere handy?
Oh boy. Let me find out. Let me see.
I know I have the render I can share.
Let's see if I can find it. It's been a while. I know I've got the image, that of him holding the one up or whatever, but I don't know where the render is that I did over the mountains that we showed at one point.
that one anniversary year.
Yeah. We did the anniversary. It was like last year, wasn't it? I think it might have been last year.
I think it was 2 years ago,
Oh
man.
God, really?
Yeah, because I made the one that we did the get. Gosh, no, it's been longer than that.
Just stop. I'm good.
It's been almost 4 years.
I'm fine. I don't want to hear the rest of that. It's been too long. It's been too long. But yeah, it's actually in. We did it. There's a recreation of it somewhere, but I don't see it. I know that there's one. Yeah, I don't see it, guys. I have no idea where I would have put it. And it might be in this drive. Let me check this real quick. Take some of the questions. You guys ask your questions, get your comments in.
Beth says, wow, I've never seen that clip before.
No.
Chris said that he had never seen Kenneth Arnold on video before.
I was amazed. When I came across it, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, it's out there, guys.
So here we go, guys. Well, dang it.
What'd you do? Did you find one too?
Well, I have the sliced version. Because it's the print ready.
Right.
Let's see if I can find the Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just the print ready version.
Well, I will try to find that because I'm not sure where it would have ended up at. I know it's here. I know it's in one of these folders, but
my computer's RAM is feeling the burn for the first time in a long time.
It could literally be anywhere. Literally. Wait, here's models. Hang on. 3D projects. Okay, here we go.
It's titled
UFO models. Hey.
It's _ Arnold Craft.
Arnold Craft. I see Trent. I see Zamora. I see Pennsylvania. Arnold. 3D prints, maybe. Let's try there. Prints. Oh man, I don't see it. Well,
what's going on, man?
It's here somewhere. I found the Adamski craft. I found everything but the Arnold craft, apparently. But yeah, it's here somewhere. I just don't know where it would be, unfortunately. 3D models. Hopkinsville, nope. Sports model, nope. Man, I got a whole fleet over here. Literally got a whole fleet of UFO models, and I can't find the one we need. It's unbelievable.
Right?
It's unbelievable.
It be that way.
It does. It'd be that way. But no, I do not see it, unfortunately. So maybe we'll find it by next week. It could happen. Anyway.
I was going to say, at one point there was a blessing with it, but
it's been too long, man.
I know, it's gone.
Hey, Weirdos, here to drop a like. Hello, real quick. I'll talk to you all next week, and I'll watch the replay. Well, we're holding you to it. There you go.
So Chris says, what do you both believe that is the most credible witness to the Roswell crash?
Oh, geez. Here's the problem. No one saw it crash. So right there says a lot, doesn't it? I think the big issue is that there's debris.
Yeah.
As far as we know, this is just going on the data, right? Just the data, plain data. There's debris. There's a recovery of something, but no one actually saw it crash. And if they did, that's to be seen, I guess. There's no actual proof of it either way. Maybe some gophers out there saw it crash, possibly. right?
Maybe.
Possibly. There were possibly some gophers that saw the actual crash, if it crashed.
So some
But-
gopher tortoises got destroyed.
Right. It could happen. It could happen. But I like Dennis. I like Glenn Dennis. I've always liked him as a witness. I don't know if he's legit any more than anyone else in all this stuff, to be honest with you. I know that there are those who think that he made some stuff up. Same stuff you hear literally from everyone. You know, that's the problem. There was a lot of research going on back in those days. You know, that's one of the things that we really have to remember. Like, there was a lot of researchers researching the whole Roswell thing. It wasn't just Friedman. Everybody thinks it was just Friedman, but it wasn't. Yep. We'll go over that here in just a little bit, but there was a lot of them. The problem was, I was there. I remember this very well. I was at the 50th anniversary of Roswell. I was in Roswell for the 50th anniversary of Roswell, by the way. The problem is, everybody thought they were right. Everybody else was wrong. And this is one. There's two things that drove me away from actually researching UFOs. Believe it or not, I did walk away from this for many years. You know this, Joe.
Yep.
And one of the things, there was two. One thing was the personal stuff, where I had to deal with this so-called ontological shock and figure out what's going on with the whole, possibility of contact, the whole thing. Second, I looked at all these so-called experts, and they were on everything, right? They were on Larry King. They were on sightings. They were
all the forums.
Yeah, everything. They're all over the forums. They were on daily talk shows. Experts. And I knew a lot. I knew a lot about the subject because I had done a lot of research myself. And I just saw these people going after each other constantly. Some of the big names, some of my heroes were going after other people. You had Friedman. He didn't like Lazar. Lazar's a liar, and he would not think any more of it than that. You have these infighting going on. And I was like, you know what? This is pathetic. So I'm like, I'm compromised at this point. I've had experiences. No one's ever going to believe me as a researcher anyway. So I'm out of the field. And I would have remained out of the field if it wouldn't have been for you people dragging me back in, telling me your crazy stories when I didn't want to hear them. I just wanted to get away from this. And here I was, in a pet shop, and people would come in and tell me about ghost stories and UFOs. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then one day, I actually got to meet one of those heroes. That was, Friedman, right? You were there.
Yeah.
And
Friedman, and that was one of the coolest things too, because
right,
we were there, and it was our first outing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was supposed to have been our first outing, but it wound up being our second because Mothman was our first major cryptid show.
Major, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then because this show was in October, and we went there after Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to meet the lineup of legends of the Fortean and paranormal worlds.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cool. And I remember we were sitting over there, we were having dinner, and then Stanton got up and gave his talk, and Stanton rambled for like 2 hours and went on and on and on about all these government projects he was involved in, and then they went dark, and then they got shut down.
Yeah.
But then the next day we were all just kind of hanging out, and I was like, let's go talk to people.
Yeah.
We were at our booth, and the show was kind of a smaller, like family-oriented, quaint show, but it was very busy still. Like for what it was really busy. And so Ron was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, Ron, Stanton, let's go. So I grabbed Ron, we went over and we talked to Stanton and got a picture with him.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later, the dude's dead.
Yeah. It's the craziest thing. It was just the craziest thing. And if it wasn't for Stanton Friedman, we would probably not we would not be at some of the places that we've been at this. We may never have done this, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for Stanton Friedman.
Well,
and let me tell you why.
Yeah, the big thing is, Ron, you asked a very important question to Stanton.
I did. I said, because he was retiring, okay, at the time. He was like, this is it. I'm done. This was his going out tour.
He had one other speaking engagement planned after this one, and he passed away on his way to it.
So we kind of ran into each other in the hallway. And I said, well, Mr. Friedman, and he stopped me there and he said, no, my friends call me Terry.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Terry. So I said, who do we listen to now that you're not going to, be the voice of this? You're not going to be, one of the main researchers. Who do we listen to? Who do we trust? Because there's a lot of people out there and it's kind of muddy. And he gave me several names, but at the top of the list, he said Stan Gordon.
Yeah.
Now, just out of absolute coincidence, not because I don't believe in those. The very next week, Stan Gordon is coming to Flatwoods, where he's going to speak.
Yeah.
We go there. Stan's there.
Yeah, and this is hilarious. Ron was not going to go interview him. Ron was trying to hide behind the camera. And I was like, nope. You're the UFO guy. Because at the point, like at that time, I was just kind of like a UFO fan, right? I'd always liked.
Well, you were out of your element, and that's why I'm like, you know what, we got to do it. So
yeah, so
you were doing the other stuff,
asking Ron's questions.
Yeah,
I was just like, you do it, and I'll film.
Yeah. So the very first interview that I ever conducted was Stan, and not only did it turn out to be that was just literally what pointed us in all the directions. It was that day that he said, I told him, I was like, look, I've had experiences. I think that may invalidate me. I always wanted to do the research stuff. He's like, oh, don't let that stop you.
We're talking about people passing away around us and all that stuff earlier, like Stanton passed and other people. And then of course, Joe, I seem to remember a woman almost suddenly dying mere feet from you two. It wasn't mere feet from us. It was mere feet from Zorp and Cargo.
That wasn't us. So you can't do that. No. The aliens didn't do it.
Total coincidence.
100% that time.
I prefer to think that I've been gifted with superior pattern recognition.
No, not this time. Not this time. So, to make a long story short, it was during some of those conversations I had with Stan where he suggested, you guys need to take out, a Geiger counter. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have one, but I will. So I ordered a Geiger counter, and the rest is history. It actually was funny because it was during the whole 2020 thing, and they rushed it. Like you couldn't get certain things in the mail at all. It was impossible to get, but they rushed it because it was an emergency device. I'm like, it's a Geiger counter. What do they know that we don't know?
Right.
But either way, I got it. And literally the rest is history. So we probably wouldn't be here, honestly, in this capacity anyway, if it wasn't for Stanton Friedman. And that's
if it really to boil it down, if it wasn't for that Creature Weekend.
Yeah. Like that's right.
The connections that we made at that show.
Yeah.
With the people that we made the connections with.
Yeah, that's true. It all kicked right there, didn't it?
Yeah.
So and that's a fact. It's just one of the crazy little things that blows your mind if you really sit back and think about it.
Andrew says, Ron and Joe, you guys should see if you can get exclusive access to Skinwalker Ranch. Just saying, they might let you guys in. We know the guys now at this point. We've talked to them a couple times. They've actually reviewed some of our footage. We would like to go.
Well, the problem with it.
Say the word, folks.
Well, the problem with it is you wouldn't be able to talk about it. There's a problem.
So Stanton is the reason Joe glows.
Stan is the reason that
Yeah.
that Joe glows. That's absolutely 100%. Yes.
Yep.
It is all Stan Gordon's fault.
Yeah.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, so let's get some of these questions up. I see that's some good comments coming through there.
Let's see. Let's see. I've been throwing most of them up on the screen.
I think the thing that that we have to take into consideration is this: where it really started. It did start with Mike Brazel, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that story. Mike Brazel goes out, discovers the wreckage, and he's like, I don't know. He didn't even report it at first. He goes into town later on and he hears these people talking about these, the flying disc, because flying saucers had just been invented that whole term. And he's thinking, well, I wonder if that's what crashed at my ranch. I don't know. Maybe I should tell some people. So he does. And that's how that whole thing gets reported, and then boom, there it is on July 8th. But this story literally did get stamped out because of Ramey. He pretty much says, he takes, he pretty much says this is how it was. And this is the story we're going to go with after it came across the news wire, and as you saw with Jesse Marcel, who was ordered to sit there and pose with this material. Yeah, he knows what it was, and on his deathbed confession, he literally says what he says. That was brought to the world in 1978 by Stanton Friedman, because he interviewed Marcel, and that interview ends up somehow with Bob Pratt in the National Enquirer, believe it or not. And it was a 1980s National Enquirer article that just blew this whole thing pretty much out of the water. It's the same year also that, who was it, Joe? The guys were writing the book. You know who I'm talking about.
I've been digging through comments.
Moore and what's his name? I cannot think of the name of the book right now. Moore and Berlitz. That's it. Yeah. They were writing the book, and the book that they were writing was actually, honestly, it was the first book that was dedicated right to that crash, like literally mentioned the whole thing. But the Enquirer had a lot of reach. So that February, the Enquirer gets released with that article talking about Jesse Marcel and Friedman's, whole thing. And then in October, you have the release of the book that comes out. And that was the Roswell incident. And now everybody's talking about Roswell.
So, Ron, here's one for you to weigh in on. My review on the whole Roswell story from my research and reading is controversial, but hopefully it's allowed here. Anything's pretty much allowed here. I think
as long as you don't call it demons,
we distraction of all of UFO.
I mean, it could be.
And then continues with Roswell is not only a hoax, it's a plagiarism of a hoax. The Aztec UFO crash, published by Frank Scully of the early 1950s, which is an oil scam where two con men were actually convicted of fraud. Now, if it was published in the 1950s, wouldn't 1947 predate that? Just me thinking out loud. Like
the Aztec crash was also at the time put into several of those books as well. And from time to time, you even saw people back in those days, they confused the two crashes, to be honest with you. For the longest time, that would happen. But they're two separate things. And honestly, I don't know much about the Aztec crash other than I've seen so many people say it didn't happen. The only reason that I think that there's something happened at Roswell. The only reason I think that something happened at Roswell is because there were some of those key witnesses in the very early days of the research. And it was so good because you got to see, these interviews, especially on, like sightings and I think, what was it? Unsolved Mysteries did one, I think.
Yeah.
They got some of the original witnesses. Those witnesses were all pretty much saying the same thing. And those aren't witnesses that we saw at UFO conventions. Those are witnesses who came on, told their story, and back into life they went. But they all said the same thing. We were threatened. We were told not to say anything. The whole thing about, we'll take you out in the desert, blah, blah, blah. That happened.
Yeah.
Why did that happen? That's not a balloon, guys. So something happened out there. I just don't know what it was. I don't think any of us know what it was.
Dave says, we spend all this time on Aztec and Roswell and virtually ignore Socorro.
Oh, we ignore Socorro because it was demons. No, I'm kidding. No, for real. That's what Lonnie Zamora thought, right? He thought that this was some kind of a diabolical thing. It was, because he couldn't rationalize it. That ontological shock hit him and he couldn't really think of anything else. And I think one of our biggest problems with a lot of this stuff is it becomes mythology. Now, all mythology is based in truth. That's the thing to keep in mind. It's just what part's true and what part isn't. There's a lot of similarities between Roswell and what happened in Kecksburg, for example.
Silas Newton and Leo Galber, German last name, were the hoaxers of the Aztec UFO crash. They told their story to tell fake oil finding technology, to sell, I'm assuming, oil finding technology. The details from Aztec crash were lifted for the Roswell myth.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm picking up what you're putting down, but it takes a little bit of mental gymnastics for me to.
I get it.
I get it, but again, in a linear standpoint, there's some mental gymnastics that has to take place. He says here that Roswell was popularized in later decades and not necessarily the 1940s, but I had grandparents who talked about it pretty fondly prior to it being popularized. And they would tell me stories about talking about it around the radio with their parents, which would have been in the 50s and 60s.
Well, I mean, one of the things about Roswell is that we have the newspaper. We have the press bulletin. We have several of these things. But the problem with it is that it doesn't matter because they want you to believe that it was, this or that. It wasn't real. So no one's going to say one way or the other is what I'm getting at. And if it works to confuse it with Aztec, then so be it. That makes someone's life a lot easier. It's very convenient, though, that when they were gathering all the original data for it back in the 90s there, before the 50th anniversary, the Government Accounting Office couldn't locate those original files. It's theorized that those files don't exist anymore. My question is, if it were,
they were burned.
Oh, they probably were, Joe.
They were burned.
No, they probably were. If that were the case, then, what were they covering up? I mean, really, for real.
There's a cover-up of something.
Yeah, there's a cover-up,
regardless of what it is. There's a cover-up of something from 1947 in Corona.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize. Everybody calls it, in this instance, the Roswell myth.
Right.
I mean, that technically the Roswell myth technically applies. The only Roswell connection it has is Roswell airfield.
Well,
Because
it's
the crash
about
itself took place
75
in
miles
Corona.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
75 miles away from it.
The crash itself took place in Corona.
Yeah.
And so the name in itself is a little bit of a misconstrued tidbit of information. But Appalachian Oddity, the Roswell myth about found technology in bodies wasn't in the 1940s. It came about later by books and people coming forward. The details match the Aztec crash and were published after from my research. Did your research this again? I'm just pointing out obvious, the news article, for example, states UFO crash, the very first one, which started the cover up in the first place. What was it? What did it say? UFO or saucer crash, Ron?
Oh, that was the disc. The
disc. Yeah. So, technically that was describing technology that we didn't have or something, some kind of craft we didn't have. Now, I can't speak necessarily because I don't have a copy of it. And I've only read secondhand copies and newsprints that were printed decades after in modern books. But was there any talks, Ron, about anything recovered in the very first one?
Here you go. This is one.
Let me go to presentation.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This one was from Mike Brazel. This was after he had reported it. And this is a pretty, a famous one. And we have, of course, the flying saucer on ranch, called a disc in the news report. There's the original and
RAF, the RAAF,
Roswell Army Airfield.
Roswell Army Airfield captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. The date. Where's the date print?
Oh, it's right up here in the
Top
corner. Left. Yeah. It's right there under daily, if you can see it.
Yeah.
July
6th.
I believe that's
that right?
8. That's 8. Because this was the 8th. This is the Roswell Daily Record. That was July 8th.
There we go. Now I just blew it
1947. There you go.
Tuesday, July 8th, 1947. It talks about a flying saucer. I mean, I'm not.
So he talks about a flying saucer, and then the actual the recording from Headline Edition. They actually I'll find the copy of this, by the way, for you, but and you've probably already seen it, but others haven't. There's a full copy of that report.
Yeah.
And they actually talked to the Chicago field office who called the base for basically a scoop on this, a story. And they kind of tell them, we hope to have some details for you about this soon. So this is before, they decided to put the hammer down and stop this story. They stopped the story because people were getting interested in it. That's why they stopped the story. But yeah, there's definitely something that was covered out there. Whether they want people to believe it was a flying saucer, why would they? I don't know. I don't know why you would want to create that story and then start redacting it. That just didn't.
Immediately after.
Yeah. This was literally almost verbatim what happened a few years ago with the whole drone situation, if you recall. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, yeah. It was a mirror image of New Jersey.
Oh, absolutely. There was a time when that was, it was just like we were living parallels right there for a little bit, because as I recall, there was an incident where they were trying to explain the drones away, and they ended up with this one guy holding a drone that he had found. Do you remember that image? He's sitting there holding a drone that he found, and it's just like, this is the exact same thing that they did.
Yeah.
With
have them pose here. Hold this. Let us take a picture.
Yeah, that they did this. So
Dave says, I'm with Kevin Randall. Something happened at Roswell, but we'll never know what.
We'll never know what it is.
They're compromised.
No, because everybody, like I said, everybody was an expert. Everybody had their own theories, and they wouldn't work with anyone to try to find out what the actual truth of what happened was. That's just what are the facts that happened out there, the way that I see it anyway. Now, could there be multiple accounts that are confused? Well, that's how a live sandwich works. We know this, and we know that it's very effective. That if we just continue to throw stuff on top of things, that over time, it just gets to the point where no one even cares anymore, right?
Yeah. I mean, when it really, what it boils down to is that there is so much flack that it was been thrown between this and Aztec and Kenneth Arnold, that nobody, again, to some of the commenters here's points, including Appalachian Oddity, there's so much flack that has been shot. No one talks about Socorro. They focus on these. And for some reason, this does appear to be a template, so to speak. Because we see it played out multiple times, not just in this, okay? Not just with Roswell, but we see it, yes, again with New Jersey. But if you look at some other media, just look at 9/11, for example.
Yeah.
How many stories were immediately redacted?
Right.
That we then come to find out were the truth.
Yeah.
They published a story, pulled a story. And said, oh, well, the information was incorrect. This is what really happened. And we find out the original report was actually right.
Right. I mean, it happens, and I think it's just a matter of, I think it's just a matter of us sitting down and saying, you know what, that we're never going to know, and being comfortable with the fact that we're never going to know.
Godot says, same recursive loop talking points. I couldn't engineer better misinformation and disinformation if I tried.
No, you couldn't. And that's the whole point. And over time becomes your best narrator. Time becomes your best writer, really, doesn't it? Because things get skewed, things get moved around, and all of a sudden you just have the best cover story ever. It writes itself.
Yeah.
You got people arguing on this one point, and maybe you even have somebody who injected a little bit of something. Let's not forget William Moore was involved in the early days. Right. William Moore was finding some of those original witnesses, right? We know that William Moore sold out other UFO researchers and witnesses. Yes. We know that he had ulterior motives because he came out and admitted it in front of a live panel. So we can't say everything that happened at face value in those books. The mythology of Roswell is legit.
It's just like every other history book. To the winner goes the spoils.
Bingo.
Whoever wrote it gets to write what they want.
Exactly. But there may be key truths still hidden.
Lie sandwich, baby.
Lie sandwich. Yep.
Ashley Hilt says, anyway, so one of my local people here, his dad was stationed at the RAAF.
Oh, wow.
And he helped fly debris to Wright Pat.
Oh, wow.
They found out later after his death in 91.
Wow.
Can't remember his name. His last name is Havdol, though. That's really cool.
That really
Enzo
is.
says, I feel the Aztec story is disinformation to cover for what happened at Roswell, but who knows? Who
knows which one?
Back to how much flack has been shot in this whole scenario.
That's the whole point, guys. And I really think that, that was it from the beginning. I mean, it really was, in my opinion. I mean, this story covers itself up. Give it enough time, inject just a little bit of doubt.
Go Dot. Has anyone read Lieutenant Colonel Corso's book, The Day After Roswell, and remembers anything from it? I doubt it.
Well, the transistors, Velcro, there was a few things that were allegedly, according to Corso, given to private companies for development. Wow, where have we heard that at these days? So my question to you is that true, or is someone just conveniently discovering the literature? This is the problem I have with this, and this is why I get so disenchanted anymore, because it's just like, we're not going to find it. No one's telling the truth. This is a fact. I don't think anyone's telling the truth, because I don't think anyone even knows it anymore.
So, Dave brings up, why is Grush and Elizondo resurrecting the magenta myth at this time?
Well,
what's the point beside discrediting the entire field?
Well, I think that you have to think about magenta because it predates everything, right?
It does. And you also have to take a look at it with this. Like, I personally think magenta, I don't have a solid opinion on magenta, if I'm going to be completely honest. However, I can't completely credit Grush and Elizondo with resurrecting the magenta myth, so to speak. Because if you go back prior to, I can't remember who it was that brought it up. It was someone in an official capacity. It wasn't Grush, and it wasn't Lou Elizondo.
Found a picture I was trying to find.
Yeah, I see that. It wasn't Grush or Elizondo, but somebody mentioned the essentially the Vatican assisting in the recovery of something into U.S. custody. It happened just before we got to that, because I remember us covering it on the show when it happened, but it was before we knew who Grush was, and it was before we knew who Lou Elizondo really was. But I remember us talking about it, and it coming up, it hit the news briefly, and it was in an in passing kind of scenario. But that's the only thing that to me, I can't really put it on Grush and Elizondo. I think they might just be running with something that got put back out there. Or did it happen?
I mean, according to Grush, it did. Yeah, there's the template you were talking about.
Yeah.
There's the template. All those mystery drones. It's okay. This thing just fell out of the sky. I'll tell you what, guys, if those things were falling out of the sky, I would be collecting those.
Absolutely.
I would be collecting those.
I wouldn't be calling and telling anybody that I had it, but there would be signs.
I didn't find anything. Don't know what that is. But yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's literally the same staging, same thing. I mean, except this guy knew, obviously, that's a drone. And I doubt he knew anything else more than that. They probably have gotten to the point.
Here, hold this.
Like, just hold this and stand here, and that's all
you have a badge.
It's good. Don't worry about it. Why am I doing this? It doesn't matter. So yeah, it's the same old stuff, man. It's the same old stuff.
Oh man. So it said, I found it funny that non-UFO people can only name Roswell case, some wrongly thinking it was the beginning. thought it was popularized in later decades in the 70s and 90s. Yeah, it's a lot of people, just like people claim that, the PG film and that debacle was the beginning of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
When it wasn't. It's just that's the point of pop culture reference.
Well, the problem being is that, and we said this in our presentations, we say it all the time, ufology is nonlinear.
Yeah.
There are decades that go by, and all of a sudden this one little tidbit comes out and it validates something that happened 40 years ago. So what we're waiting on right now is something to validate what happened 79 years ago.
Yeah.
In Roswell, New Mexico. That has not happened yet. It has not happened yet. If it does, it's going to change a lot of things, because now, well, that's the problem. Roswell, why we can't talk about, another reason we can't talk about Roswell, Joe, is because if something did happen at Roswell, look at the baggage that's stacked on top of that. What if?
Yeah.
Now we got to talk about all this. It's not just a crash, by the way. There's a lot more to that. We're talking about, again, the allegations that it was brought down with, beam weapons. Well, we're hearing that again. So someone is reading the same playbook here at some point. Literally, that is what we heard from Jake Barber. These guys went out. They were calling these things in consciously, psionically, psychically, and then they were taking them out with these energy weapons. They learned something at some point, apparently. Now, where that was, we can't say, but there's a good chance that it might have been somewhere out there in the New Mexico desert.
It's very possible.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. It really is hard to say. There's so many things right there. And someone brought this up earlier, the whole Socorro thing. We don't talk about Socorro. Yeah, you're right. We don't. Because Socorro was so close to a very top secret area, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about that, because there was that's where we're testing. We were right there. We were literally miles down the road. We're testing the first atomic bombs there.
Yep.
And then this is where or how some of these things that allegedly get lured in.
I think Socorro is going to become more mainstream talk.
Mm-hmm.
The more Beatrice and her work,
maybe,
and the team that's working there popularized the idea that these transient objects were showing up during the testing phases.
I tell you, man,
because it's right there.
There's something
directly involved, in my opinion.
Oh, there's something going on. And, we have to keep in mind that literally 5 years after this whole thing where, Brazel discovers that stuff, right? What's the date 5 years later, Joe? From 1947.
1947?
Yeah.
Puts you at 52.
What happened in 1952, Joe?
Flatwoods.
What else happened in 1952, Joe?
Flyover.
We had the DC flyover. We had the Flatwoods, incident where it wasn't just a Flatwoods monster. It was an actual craft of some sort, something landed, crashed, or was disabled. Who knows how? There's so much to that story. It's beyond, we don't have time. And 5 years, literally 5 years after Roswell, whatever happened out there, this happens. No one talks about that either. No one talks about how close those things were together. But look at the patterns.
Didn't the Majestic 12 supposedly form as a result of the Roswell crash?
If we go with the lore, yes.
Yeah.
If we go with the lore.
Now, we've talked, Ron, you and I have talked about this. And we've talked about, we did like an analysis of the UFO community and what it is that it gives us, we have this unique position where we get to be disruptors to a degree.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the people who are talking about Roswell around Roswell Day, the majority of the people who are talking about the talking points, so to speak, that's all they know.
Yeah.
They're not actually boots on the ground researchers.
Yeah.
They're not going out collecting field data that is on carefully calibrated scientific instruments.
Yeah.
And, you know, we look at a lot of these people and we wonder specifically the folks online, for example, and some of these people who constantly share all this old reliquary of ufology. Why do they do it? Why do they push it? Why do they keep moving it? And it's because there's very much I guess this deep hold for the lore.
Yeah.
And then you have folks like me who are the bull in the china shop.
Yeah.
Who know enough about the lore to be dangerous. But thankfully I have someone like you to kind of, if you fill in the lore in the blanks because you've studied it for 40 plus years, you know the lore, but you're also boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And so when you combine me, the bull in the china shop, with you, with the lore also being boots on the ground, it creates this thing that a lot of people get very worried about, because it's almost like we're loose cannons. They don't know what we're
you're talking about the whole
hurt.
sacred cow thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. They
Like,
don't know what we're going to blow apart and what we're going to shred to bits next.
I mean, I don't have
the data.
So basically what he's saying is this: we don't have a dog in a fight.
Yeah.
I don't care if Roswell was a UFO. I don't care if it was a weather balloon. I don't care if it was little green men or gray. I don't care what it was, because as we have shown at this point right now in time, no one is coming forward with any hard evidence to tell us what it was. So all we're ever going to have are really cool stories, and they're great. Now, does that mean it didn't happen? No, something happened. What was it? I don't know. Let's take the data. We have people who claim that they have material, right?
Yeah.
Material's been analyzed. Some people say that some of it was 100% pure aluminum, something that, is almost impossible to reproduce. There were these stories as well.
Yeah.
I didn't do those tests. So I don't know. I have to take their word for it. See how this works? This is the same reason that I have issues with things like some of the legends, like that are exclusive to certain people, like Sitchin, for example. Why I have issues with it is because I can't read Sanskrit. So what does it say? I have to take your word for it. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You have to do your own research. And if we start seeing patterns, even from the disinformation, and believe you me, there is disinformation in Roswell. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry if that hurt anyone's feelings, but
there
it's
is.
true. You have to understand there is definitely the hand of Doty, in my opinion, in some of those stories.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. And we can't take it all. It is a lie sandwich. There is some truth. There's grains of truth in it. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely there. There's something there, but it's a massive cover up. And the best cover ups, period, are the ones that have that little grain of truth. Those ones that are just, the truth's right there. You just can't see it because it's just piled on top and underneath all these lies. It's just that simple.
Now, speaking of Doty,
yeah,
Eric Stitt brought up, as far as Roswell is concerned, at least we got past the whole aviary mess from Richard Doty. I think you missed one of our shows, because the aviary might not be named the aviary, but whatever it was that Richard Doty described, is very much real. And I've connected all the dots over the period of several weeks and created a diagram.
It's real. There's something there.
There's something there. It might not be called the aviary. I labeled it aviary just for that specific frame and all the people in it. But when you look at everything, it's real. It might not be called the aviary. The real power brokers in all of this are listed in that group 100%. And I'll put red dots on every one of their names.
And you've got to be careful because, again, what part's the lie? What part's the truth? So what we look for are those little patterns, the little things, just tiny little things. And we see if they show up at some other point in time. With all these, data that's getting leaked right now, people look at this and they're like, oh, well, we have a memo from blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, this absolutely verifies, that Majestic 12 is real. No, it doesn't. No, it can't, because you only have one thing. You have, one paper, a scanned image. And sometimes the scanned images that are coming out of these tranches, dude, they're right out of magazines. They were just collecting data. They were just collecting these stories because they were trying to research this stuff to understand it. It doesn't mean it was real. Anyway.
Okay, so Dave says, with all due respect, I think you underestimate how political folks will converge organically on an issue that they're interested in. I don't think it's a formal organization. I don't think that I said it was either. I just said that it was real.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's formal. It's the most informal gaggle of cluster Fs that you're ever going to see. But the fact that multiple members of that crew are the literal power brokers, there's something to it. And Doty, again, lie sandwich. You've got to be able to decipher some of this stuff and look at it. Because, see, you got to remember, I'm an outsider on a lot of this UFO stuff. Yeah, I'm a fan, but mostly what I am when it comes to UFO stuff is I'm a field researcher. I'm not an archivist. I'm not a historical expert. I'm an analyst and a field researcher when it comes to the UFO topic. And I'm really good at that. There was a reason I was part of a crash recovery team. It was there was something to not every member on that aviary list is authentic. God, no, I'm not saying that. But if you look at the list and you look at it carefully and you see all the interconnected bits and the people that are connected more closely than we are to Kevin Bacon,
no, that's
then
true.
You're going to you can't ignore some of it. And yeah, I could probably make it more broad. I could probably spread it out into 400 or 500 different individuals that would be all interconnected into that mess. But the ones that we talk about the most were the only ones that I really paid attention to. Because again, I'm not an archivist. I'm not a historical expert on the UFO topic, nor do I care to be. But the pattern, I have an autistic level of pattern recognition abilities. And when I see the dots starting to connect in more ways than just like a mental oh God, what is it? When you see something that's not a thing, it's a face, but it's not.
Pareidoia.
Yeah, mental pareidoia. Mm-hmm. When it's more than just mental pareidoia, and you can see where these people actually sat in rooms on more than one occasion together frequently.
It's quite a coincidence, really.
Yeah, it's not coincidence anymore.
Yeah. I think you can honestly just it's easy to prove. All you got to and I honestly didn't even know, by the way. He got off on a tangent and did this actually at our at our meeting as a presentation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, there's no way. And it did. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks like if you took the data and you ran it through an AI, there would be certain patterns that the AI would definitely pull out.
Oh yeah.
And I think that if you gave each one of these members a number, you would definitely start to see a hierarchy form all the way up, down to the lowest. And it's there. May not be what it's called. Probably isn't what it's called. No more than Majestic 12 is Majestic 12.
Yeah, right.
But
exactly.
it's based on something. There's no question. With the legends that X amount of people, only X amount of people know what's really going on. I used to think, oh, that's not true. Yeah, I think it might be. I think you have 5. I don't know how many
That's
there are.
just me. The 5 people that we talk about now. There's God. There's more than 5, but like the people that we see that are out there, kind of like
public
heads of the community.
Yeah.
I think there's like 5 of them that actually know.
Well, they're steering the boat. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, right. They're the ones calling the shots behind the scenes,
And it's kind of convenient because every time that something happens, they're the ones who are at the teal. So take a look at that and you'll understand. Eric, when I was writing for UFO magazine back in the early 2000s, so much Roswell nonsense came out that it was impossible to sift truth from any of it. Doty's job was a success. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah, and then Dave said Doty's a bottom feeder trying to muddy anything in the field. I 100% agree there.
Yep.
And like, I don't buy it for one bit that like he feels any guilt over what it was, so that way he turned into a UFO guy like on our team. I don't know. Dude got paid a ton of money.
Dude, you're going to have to prove yourself to me.
Yeah.
When it comes to that stuff, you're going to have to prove yourself.
Some of this, there's some serious nastiness within the upper echelons of MUFON. A simple Google search will fill in the muck in MUFON's background.
We don't.
And there's a reason why we're not part.
Yeah. There's some great people in MUFON that we'll talk to, but no, we're good.
Let's see. Dave says, speaking to Enzo, he said, I don't think that the federal government needs to form a secret exploratory group. It's formed on its own. Yeah.
I think some of these people, honestly, they have no clue what's going on because they're not allowed to talk about it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple. And someone had asked on one of the things like, well, why don't they just get the files and, request the files and, open it up and release it? Well, number one, you got to know what the name of the files are. And I mean, you got to know down to the decimal what now those files are. And if you don't know that, you're not going to get it. And there's only a handful of people who may even know that file name. Better yet, they may only know one part of that file name. You may need another person that has the other part of that extension, et cetera, and on down the line.
And then you have to also take into account what we were saying earlier, Ron. The majority of this content that we're talking about tonight,
was
pre-digital era.
Yeah.
Not even military digital era. The carbon copies were the copies. But if you wanted to just expunge something forever,
you're not wrong.
And it's gone.
I'm telling you, man, I used to not think. I used to be like, you know what? There's no way they would do that. There's no way they would destroy it. But the more that I hear how close they are to having to reveal this stuff, I do realize that is the nuclear option. And I know there are people who would sooner strike a match to it than reveal it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's sick.
I personally think it's already been done.
And it probably has, because that was the original. Well, the original finding was that those records were no longer around. They were destroyed. Yeah. That was what the General Accounting Office had said about some of those records back then. So if that's the case, then, and we've heard them still say it. They're like, oh, those records may not be around. They may have been, they may no longer be here. What does that mean? It means what we said. They were destroyed, probably. That's what it means. Because I'm telling you, man, there are implications in some of that stuff that, again, we've said it before. We're talking about crimes against humanity. We're talking about international, crimes. We're talking about, God, who only knows? The world is not what you think it is.
No.
And that could prove it. That's what it comes down to. And that's why you're not going to see it. I mean,
every big secret, every thing that is out there that could take us leaps and steps, both technologically, sociologically, and anthropologically, have cabals surrounding them. Not one cabal, but small ones, multiple ones, just like whatever the real group of people that form up what the aviary is.
Yeah.
It's a cabal. It's a secret organization, a clandestine.
Always has been. Researchers were the same way. That's why I got so, like I said, that's why I got out. One of the reasons I got out was because I was just sick of seeing it. You're sitting there. If you just work together, you could solve this. That's why we created the collective.
It is. And it's why we always share all of our data. We don't gatekeep any of it. The only time we hold anything back is when we're actively working on something.
Yeah.
And we're in a thread. Like, we will keep that thread until we're ready to reveal it. But that's the only time we ever hold anything back. We share everything else.
Yeah.
As soon as it's ready, as soon as it's been reviewed, as soon as it's been peer reviewed, we share it.
I think that's one of our issues. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why either A, you're here, or you just checked out, was because, we don't speak on the authority level. We don't say 100%. I can tell you what
we challenge it
here.
We do that.
We will challenge it. I actively challenge it. Every week, my goal is to go out into ufology land and ask questions on some of these dumb posts that I see and make them answer them with something more than I believe. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because no one's actually really doing it. And they need to. It's not hard. Do a little research. Don't just quote the guy down the street. Don't just grab a book and say, this is 100% true. Oh my God. It's not, because you're going to pick up another book and you're going to say, oh my God, this is true. And then you're going to be like, wait a minute, it can't be true because that book said. And then you have to start thinking. This is one of the problems we have. There are people out there who are leading the communities, and they're not even recognizing the fact that they're contradicting themselves at times with that kind of data. You've got to challenge the data. That's just what you have to do. And you can't sit back on it and say, this is 100% it. We've said that multiple times. We've talked about that with our own data, with our own stuff that we've seen. We have to go back out and test and retest and retest, because I don't think that this answer is good enough.
Appalachian Oddity, I think they're more strangely common than we often think. Watch the skies everywhere. And that's what we've been telling people for years. Just look up, get the right hardware and look up, and you got it.
Yeah. Yep. And for real, I mean, it's really that simple. Just go out there, and you may not even have to have the right hardware. You might get lucky. I mean, it's very possible.
Oh, yeah. Beth, for example.
Yeah. But I will tell you this. I honestly do. Well, the data at this point literally says to me, and we've said this, so I'll say it again. If whatever this is wants you to see it, you will see it. If not, you're probably not.
Yeah, the big thing is, regardless of what it was that took place in Roswell.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happened 80 plus years ago, prior to Roswell, we are. We'll get right to this, but
yeah,
we are looking into the past with the eyes of the present. And we can only see so much because we can only see what remains. We need to get out of the way and stop looking so much for all these mega UFO cases and all this stuff that happened in the past around the world, and start focusing on what's happening right now and get our heads out of the sand and out of the proverbial library book stocks.
Well, yeah. Don't you think we have enough data at this point that I mean, for real, I'm not being
use it for reference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't you think we have enough case files to back up anything that we find that's new?
Oh, 100%.
At this point, I don't think we need, another 20 years of trying to figure out what happened, again in Roswell. It's good enough. Something happened. Let's go. If we don't have any more data than this, it's good enough for now.
So Andrew asked, but honestly, what is the right hardware?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Quite honestly, thank you for asking that.
It really is a good question. What we utilize, we broadcast it and we tell everybody. There's actually, I'm going to go grab the YouTube video.
Oh, go ahead.
And I'll post a link to it. But Ron, tell them about some of the equipment while I'm doing that real quick.
Sure. So you're going to see a massive amount of stuff that we use. And one of the primary things that you've always seen us use is the ability to look into those different wavelengths, because, human eyesight, somewhere around, 350, 380 to 750 nanometers, something like that. Below, you can't see. Above, you can't see. So we have the optics that allow you to do that. Well, that's what you want. And what's great is back in, the day when I wanted to get out there in the field, this stuff was, multiple thousands and thousands of dollars, like, tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Today, it's a lot less. And you can actually go out and get this stuff so you can actually look up and do it yourself. And you could also argue, is that why, we have to move a little bit forward with the whole, disclosure kind of thing and admitting that there's something there, because look at all the stuff people are catching. Yeah, they are catching stuff. So infrared, you can see into that. All you need is an infrared viewer. Those are dirt cheap now, by the way. You can get on Amazon, find one for like $50, and watch for the deals. You're going to pick it up for like $50. That's 4K. It's good. It's, in fact, probably, I think it's the equivalent of what we caught the invisible orb on at Wineberry, for example. Your next ones are going to be the light amplification devices, like the psionics that we use.
Third generation night vision technology.
Yep. So basically what that does is it amplifies available light. Now it can also amplify light you can't see. And that's the most interesting part, because it amplifies infrared lights or infrared emissions as well. All that stuff readily available now. So really, you can just go out there and create yourself a nice little kit for, what do you think, Joe? Probably right around, if you want to get down to it and just start. To start.
$50
with an infrared viewer, right?
Just to start, like baseline start, 4K infrared.
Yeah.
For like under $100.
I know it's under $100 because we gave one away at the.
Yeah, it was $89
at the meeting, right? Away. Yeah. That's right.
And then let's see. So that's second generation night vision, and then the Geiger counter, another $75 for get the one that can actually measure and chart and graph your stuff.
Right.
So you're gonna want to get the
500 plus. Yeah, 500 plus.
Then so you're like, there's $150. That'll get you started. Then get a tiny a spectrum analyzer. Tiny SA. There's a couple $100 there. You can do it. You can build a decent little kit for right around $1,000, and that's like full. That'll keep you busy.
I'll keep you busy. If you want to invest another 1,000 or so, then you can go get your thermal, and you just keep building it. You don't do it all at once. You just build it. I mean, our kit took a very long time to build.
Years.
A lot of it came from my, old paranormal investigation days, the ghost hunting stuff, and then the rest, like Joe said, it's years. Every year we add a little something new to the kit, but in time you'll have a nice little toolkit that you can go out there and you can not really prove, but you can gather data for yourself, share it with your friends, figure out what it is, and then prove or disprove that whatever you saw was anomalous or not.
Appalachian Oddity says advancements in civilian night vision and the like is one of the most encouraging aspects of modern UFO research to me. Power to the people. Absolutely.
100%.
Enzo says Black Friday is the best for tech prices. Only a few months away. Start saving those pennies.
For real.
Believe it or not, Enzo, the best time for some of the stuff that we use that's like calibrated scientific stuff is next month.
That's
back to school pricing.
Back to school. Yeah.
Because a lot of this stuff, like they use them in college to measure certain things. Like there's certain like lab tools and things like that you can get they're better than Black Friday starting in like 3 or 4 weeks when back to school specials start hawking Amazon right then and watch it, because the Geiger counters and the spectrum analyzers will be fairly cheap.
Yeah. There's actually a video. Did you put the link in there that we did a while back? Showed our what we use in the field.
Yeah. I put a link. I just threw it back in there again for a second time because it got buried.
There you go. So anybody's interested in that, just copy that, throw it over to another browser and watch that after a while. And that gives you a good idea of the stuff we use and what it can do and why we use it.
This is another one that's really good. Amazon sells Faraday bags pretty cheaply. They do indeed. And those are handy to have for whenever you want to like block out your spectrum analyzer from like your phone frequencies. But you don't always have to have those, because I tell you what, when it comes to the tiny SAs and any other spectrum analyzer, once you know your phone on the device. And you know everybody else around you's phone on the device.
Yeah, we proved that live.
And we talk about that. It's we'll point them out. We know which ones are which. But the Faradays are nice if you want to go do, which is one of my favorite things to do, is go do dark research, and that's where you bag all of your, basically anything that emits a frequency that is has a transmitter. You bag it and put it away, and you only have your receivers out.
Rick, blessings to you. Great return to Roswell episode. Barbecue fun. Can't stop the signal, kids. Andrew wants to know, do we need a neuralizer or two? Well, if you do, we could probably come up with that. So
if you if you got one or two to share, we will take two.
Yeah. There's some people I'd like to wipe them.
I've always wanted one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Scorpius, one of the best places I get great gear is eBay. No, you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got it's a gamble sometimes on how used it can be.
Yeah.
But eBay is actually really good. One of the most recent TV purchases or recent things I bought off eBay was a TV from 89 was it, Ron?
Yeah, it was actually. We still had the receipt, I believe.
TV from, it was the trademark on it was from 89 to 91.
That's right.
And
portable TV. Yeah.
And it was a little portable TV that we used for some stuff. That came in clutch because it was brand new in box. So it was great. Neuralizer, I'm too cheap. I just use a shovel.
Oh, wow. That's great. Instruments work best in your front yard at night so that your neighbors know who's the real investigator in the neighborhood. No, that's true. I actually did that. There was a missing cat. And so I was like, hey, hang on a minute. And so I went inside and grabbed, the thermal, and I'm looking for it. And the guy's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, it's thermal, it's night vision. And he's like, "Oh, you hunt with that?" And I'm like, "Not animals." It's a great conversation starter. It really is.
And then once everybody gets to know what you're doing, it starts to become a popular thing, and you get phone calls from emergency services to go help with things. Ron and I have been out in the middle of the woods, heading out to go with search and rescue work. But they found them just as we were getting into the forest. So then we turned it into something else. We had some fun anyway. We already had all the gear, so why not?
As I recall, we found a few deer.
We did. So it was perfect for that.
I guess they were deer.
Scorpio says, "I've been buying equipment on eBay for 27 years. I'm still doing it, so it must not be that bad." No, it's good stuff.
No.
Like, you just got to be careful, and some of the stuff you get, like, be willing to repair it if need be.
Yeah. I mean, for real. And some of the stuff, honestly, there are certain, here's a good example. There are certain pieces of equipment that you can't find anymore.
Right.
That show up over there. And sometimes people don't know that they're really valuable. And they're valuable because they can pick up certain frequencies that newer models couldn't. They had, because newer models, they want to clip out certain frequencies. Yeah, they're filters. So, these old models could pick up a lot broader waveforms. So yeah, definitely. You want to look for those kind of things.
Okay, folks, kick some cash in so we can hear a smooth flute tune.
Oh God.
Hey, we're good there.
Y'all good. Y'all good.
I'm gonna throw this up, Ron. You can get ready with one. I'll send them out a blessing, right?
Oh, give them a blessing. They need that.
In honor.
There we go. Very good. Very good.
Flute cash.
You guys are awful, but we love you. It doesn't matter.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Sports model of Bob made it into AI video libraries. I don't know. That wasn't AI, by the way.
Yep.
Just for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a 3D modeler, and that was painstakingly created by hand.
Ron, not animals. Abel's eyes go wide and thought to other humans enters his mind.
I didn't give him any further, people don't bother me. I like it that way. I got security cameras up. I kind of watch the place and make sure everything's good, because we've had weird things happen before. So yeah, it's one of those kind of situations where it's okay. Let them think that. But no,
asks, any good books coming up soon? My library is always hungry. Yes, next week we are going to be giving away a copy of Ashley Hilt's book. We meant to do it last week, and this week was a special week, so I didn't want to do it this week. But last week it got away from me. But next week we're going to give away a copy of her book.
I got me a new, not a new book, but I got me a book, and it's still wrapped up. But I'll let you see it because it's not a giveaway, just to let you know. I looked for this one, and it kind of found me. But I don't know if you can see it or not. Might be able to see it.
A little bit of glare.
There you go.
Oh, Journey's Out of Body.
It's the actual first. It's the hard cover, first edition.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did
It's
that
not in great shape. The jacket's terrible, but
who cares? The jacket's still there.
but the rest of it, this is a great
I-
one. This is one of the books that actually got me started. So, I had to buy it when I saw it. I'm like, you know what? I'm buying that. I don't care what it costs.
Gary Foote, Library Fund. Thank you, sir. We will pick out another book to add into the roster after Ashley's.
Yeah.
And we'll get another book out there.
Yeah. And, again, some of them may be, I don't know. There's a couple of books I'd like to get. There's a couple of books I would like to get. And we're going to see. We're going to see which ones we can pull out. But I'd like to get a few of them to where we can actually get those out that into the hands of the people who really want to learn, is what I'm trying to say.
Eric said, shout out to all of us fellow Blender users, mixed with a little DaVinci Resolve and Photoshop, of course.
Love it. Love it. I've never used DaVinci Resolve, by the way. Never tried. What am I missing? Tell me. I'd like to know.
DaVinci Resolve is one that I looked into after you got me onto Blender.
Okay.
And then I ran out of time because of having a child.
It happened.
But yeah, it's good. You'll like it, Ron. If you download it, you'll like it.
Really?
I was using the DaVinci Lite, so it was free.
What does it do? That's my question. I've never used it.
Oh,
it's another tool. So
yeah,
I need more of those to learn.
Right, just another one. Add that into the mix. So basically, what it is instead of having like Photoshop, it's like a. I used it to kind of make one of my blobs that I formed. I shaded it and made it. It's kind of like Photoshop-ish, Photoshop adjacent.
It's like a video editing. Is that what we're talking about?
What I use. It's photo editor. Or
okay.
Object. It worked well for what I was using. But yeah, like it. Yeah, Godot says DaVinci Resolve free version, which I think back then it was just like DaVinci Lite, Lite.
Oh wait, so you can do like actual animations with it then, like.
Yeah, you can. Like I made my blob move like in a circle, like moving a circle, basically a asteroid.
Okay.
And it wasn't that impressive. I mean, it was like the first thing I ever tried to model, other than that thing I did on your tablet at the house.
I got you.
But it didn't get too far. But DaVinci Lite was great. Like I enjoyed it. It was easy to use. It wasn't as like in depth as Adobe's stuff was.
I got you. I understand. Enzo, I'll be doing a ghost investigation this weekend at an old liquor store. I will see some spirits. My goodness, why can't we get that lucky?
Right.
We would see so many ghosts.
Yeah, right.
It would be the best. I promise you.
Eric basically said what I said, but more eloquently. DaVinci Resolve is a video editor with Hollywood level effects, and it's very intuitive. It was really easy to use. It was, the layers are not nearly as deep on the onion with Photoshop as it is with DaVinci. You pretty much can like choose what you want it to do, and just it was pre-programmed to make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Black Magic's tool.
Oh, all right. I understood. Wow, it's got to be good if it's Black Magic stuff. So I got you. But I
animate in Blender, edit with effects and LUTs, and DaVinci Resolve.
Nice. I used Premiere Pro, and that's what all of our stuff that you see, all those little blessings are made in. They're made in Blender and Premiere Pro. Sometimes there's a little bit of After Effects in there. Sometimes there's a little bit of View in there. There's some old programs, I'll pull in some models that I built, freaking 15 years ago sometimes, and throw in there. The sports model is a good example of that. That thing was built a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was modeled after the the model kit. So in the back of the model kit, there was actually the dimensions, and I basically just scaled it down. And and what's great is when the film came out, when the documentary came out, they gave the exact dimensions. So I was like, "Hey Joe, we got the exact dimensions now." So now it is 100% according to the scale, which is
Ashley says
pretty
I
cool.
edit with the guy I pay to edit.
I don't even know how that works. I really don't. I've done all this stuff, from day one by myself. And, I was thankful during Paranormal Horizons when Joe sat here beside me and kept me sane sometimes and helped with that process. But typically, yeah, it's just me and that.
Dave says I could make a mean pina colada, but that's my experience with blenders.
Oh my gosh. We're not talking about that kind of blender. But we could be.
Could be.
But we're not. We're not. All right, let me grab a flute. Oh boy, what should we do?
I keep forgetting to bring my dig down.
I don't know what we should do here. Well, we will do a couple. I'll start with the little one because, I really like it. Hey, did you see the newest one, the F#5?
Yeah, for $250, I'm good.
No, that's the big one. The F#5, the tiniest one.
Yeah. The little
like
piccolo.
40, it's like $40.
F-sharp.
Yeah, very, very loud little thing, little sharp thing.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
neat.
Just like the D pocket drone that I'm good.
Oh yeah, you didn't have good luck with that, did you?
I did not.
I heard. Yeah. But some of them are fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, the other ones, the F#, the C4. It's great. I'd love to play that big monster that is $250. It sounds like a didgeridoo, but I have an actual banyan tree didgeridoo.
I don't think that's that easy to play. I'll be 100% with you, unless you are miking that thing.
Oh yeah, the tone's gonna be super low.
Yeah. I mean, it might be good for some experiments. Honestly,
it would be.
It's going to go down almost into the infrasound range.
Yeah, because it's subsonic. Like some of those tones are the way it harmonizes within that drone. Yeah. It does make some pretty wild stuff.
Can you get one in CE5?
Can you get one in CE5? It'll be a little flat.
You know what? I don't think C and an E. You know what? Yeah, I think C and an E would sound good actually. That could happen.
It's a little dissonant, but you can make it work.
You can make that work. No, anyway.
If you do like a C# in the E, it'll work better.
It probably work. Yeah. All right, so let me just sit here for a little bit and let me channel, and we'll see what comes out. That's how I do this. I don't ever know what's coming out of this thing. Just to let y'all know, it's just like, wait, we're gonna play tonight? I don't know. Let's see.
I blended some bacon tonight. It worked well for patties. Heck
I would like to blend some bacon. That sounds great, actually. Speaking of bacon, hang on a second. We got to check. Just got to check. Because you guys kept saying bacon. We just got to check, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got to check. So let's see. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay, let's try this again. No one had that on their bingo card.
Bacon. There it is.
And there it is.
Everyone had that on their bingo card.
And now we know that the universe is right where it should be. Everybody's right on the same page that they should be.
It's because they turned CERN off.
Oh,
didn't you know
that's what it is. I forgot about that. Yeah, they turned CERN off. I know I can think better now.
And time moves slower.
Yeah, it does. It really doesn't. It doesn't, except for when I want to go home and I'm done. And, actually, I don't have that feeling anymore. I rather enjoy my job. So it's different, very different now. All right. Well, let's go over here. Turn this thing on. Okay. Need that. we go.
Nice.
Never know what's going to come out of it, man. You never know what's going to come out of that thing. That's the crazy part. You just let it go. Anyway, so folks, did you enjoy the show tonight? You kind of took control, which was awesome because, again, that it's your show. So you're more than welcome to do that. I think we pretty much ran with what we ran with. And I think I'm going to be done with Roswell until someone brings something to the table. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'll love Roswell. Don't get me wrong. It's a great legend. It's an incredible story. Love it. Part of, my own mythology at this point. But
I would absolutely love to go to the event.
Oh, I'd love to go to the event. But as far as the story itself, what came down there, I don't know. But I got a feeling that it's not as important as some of the things that we know nothing about.
Yep.
And I think there's some things that we know absolutely nothing about. And everybody's focused over here on Roswell and all these other little things, even Virginia. There's things that happened out there probably that makes all those just pale in comparison. Those are the things I'm more interested in.
Yeah, the stuff that no one talks about, the things that were completely covered up and hidden. Those are things that I would like to know about. We know they happened. It has to have.
Yep.
Like, how many times has there been incidents like what we saw in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind that no one knows about?
Right.
It's how many fireworks are over here. Look over here, guys. Roswell, Aztec.
Yep.
You name it.
No, absolutely. And I think that's the whole thing. There's always somebody waving a flag for you to watch while something else is happening in the background.
Eric Stitt, good show, gents. I'm happy to thoroughly divorced Roswell. Field researchers today are doing things far more relevant than Roswell purportedly was associated with. Night, weirdos.
You're absolutely right, Eric. You got it. That's the whole point. I think we need to move forward and just kind of, it's cool to visit these things, but let's just go. Let's just go and find the other stuff.
Dead fish. I have your comments in the chat have not gone deaf. I'm not I'm not ignoring them. Okay. I would like to talk to you. I think you should email us about some stuff because your encounter is really fascinating. And I'd like to talk to you more about that and maybe even have you on the show sometime. So
speaking of which, hopefully next week we can get some of those images from Wineberry and share a few of those up. Yeah, I'd like to run over those this week and figure out which ones we want to put out there. But there's definitely some stuff going on, and I'd like to get other eyes, community eyes on it, and maybe figure out what's going on.
Appalachian Oddity says, good to be able to tune in and catch the live stream. Had fun. Glad you had fun. You're always welcome here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like the conversation is always welcome, regardless of which direction it's going. This is a live show. If it seems like it needs to be the direction we go, then that's what we follow and that's where we go. So thanks for joining. Thanks for being a part of the conversation tonight, Appalachian Oddity.
Yeah, just to let you know, I mean, we covered about 3 pages, maybe 4, of a 16-page document that was our briefing document for this show. And we didn't get to the rest of it because of you guys. And I'm perfectly okay with that because that's how this show works. That's why we always say it's your show. This is your show. So you guys steer it for real. Not kidding. And we're perfectly fine with that.
Good deal, Dead Fish. We're looking forward to talk to you. Darren, truly interesting stuff still flying around in the sky. Keep looking up. That's exactly right.
Yep. Flying around in the sky, materializing in
Ashley.
people's houses. Yeah, it does all kinds of stuff.
Ashley says there are no wrong answers when it comes to the unexplained. Absolutely correct. Rob Posey, is fire water in that mason jar? Not tonight, man. I'm actually all out of fire water. I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's see. Yeah, tonight's just water. I had some other stuff in the can I was drinking before we got going too deep. But fourth gen and look up won't miss even the moon. Oh, guys, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you. And as Arthur says, see you next daggum week.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See y'all next day.
Hope you guys had a good one. Ron, you did not prepare that dossier in vain. We will cover some of that stuff.
Oh,
I mean, it's useful.
Oh, but, no. That's perfectly fine for real. I'm not kidding. It's just like, that's what the show is about. So it's what they want. This is their show. Yep. And I don't think people get that. It's like, no one else really does that. So it's kind of what we do. It's your show. And that's why we, are happy to come on here every Thursday and do this. And, it's something we look forward to. So hope you guys do too.
And remember, guys, the collective is here to shake things up. The collective is here to not just go along with the status quo. We exist to raise everything that is false to the ground and only move forward with the data. Well, and leave all the preconceived notions, all the stories, all the allegories, and follow the data.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a few things that we can say are absolutely false, but at this point, there's a lot of talk, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk, and people are acting authoritative with that talk, and they shouldn't be.
They have a ton of unearned confidence.
Well, they have a ton of AI generated content.
That too.
That's what they've got. And the AI doesn't care if it's got the facts right or not, just to let y'all know. So be careful what you're quoting. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't do that anymore, do they? They don't give sources.
No, they don't. Dead Fish right there scrolling at the bottom is the screen. Wild and Weird WV at gmail.com. That's where you guys can catch us. If you want to reach out to us via email, there we go. Then if you've had a sighting, anything like that, feel free to reach out there too. Great show. Kudos to Stanton, Corso, Art, Linda, Knapp, Ron, and Joe. Oh, goodness. We've been included.
Oh, I don't know about that. Don't put us in that line.
Just solely to the rest of those folks.
Yeah. Those other guys. Hats off to those guys. They're the ones who paved the way. And, that again, that's why when we did Parallel Horizons, we did the Kill episode. We made sure John Kill got his due, because, a lot of those guys are just laughed at. And then one day, because it's nonlinear, oh, look, they might have been right after all. So, yeah. Always give credit where credit's due.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out. Remember, keep your eyes on the skies. Something is out there. We just don't know what it is quite yet. And anybody that tells you that they do is probably lying to you. Keep that in mind.
That's true. And if we do, by some miracle, get something on, Roswell, or whatever, right? We will probably do a special just to let you all know.
Yeah.
And we'll be back here and break that down. But I don't.
Because allegedly there's something coming out tomorrow.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
We'll see.
I'm not holding my breath.
Not holding my breath, man. Not holding my breath. But we'll be back here next week, and we'll see if anything did or didn't. But what I can tell you, we're going to have something, because, like I said, we're going to go over some of that new footage from Wineberry and get these guys' opinion on what's out there.
Absolutely. Well, until next week, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate each and every one of you guys that come in and spend your Thursdays week in and week out with us. If you want to come hang out and be a part of the show, be here next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We go live every week, and this is your show. You guys get to steer it. We show up with a generalized topic, and then we go from there. Thank you all for joining us. Can't wait to see you all here next week on Wild and Weird Radio Live. And remember, the next time you see a picture of a dude like holding up this weird flimsy tinfoil mess, it's probably not UFO material. Stay wild and weird, everybody.
It's probably not.